stories for today in detail. Let's have a quick look at the top headlines. Attempts to scuttle Pranab Mukherjee's presidential bid fails as returning officer rejects the objection of Team Sangma. Election Commission has announced that the vice presidential elections are slated to be held on August 7th. Air India pilots end their 58-day-long strike after the Delhi High Court asks all the striking pilots to end their agitation within 48 hours. DMK is all set to go on a jail borough protest tomorrow against the alleged foisting of cases by its cadres. Vigilance officials conduct raids at the premises of 4 former officials of Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. Telecom Tribunal stays divided on 3G roaming row as there is no endgame in sight. Abu Jundal issue likely to dominate the Indo-Pakistan Foreign Secretary talks tomorrow. And Tamil Nadu government hikes the number of sports quota seats in engineering colleges to 500. News in detail. The nomination papers of PA Sangma for the presidential poll were accepted today by the returning officer V. Agnihotri, who is also the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha, after scrutiny. The scrutiny of nominations for the presidential polls were to end yesterday, but objections raised against Sangma and UPA presidential candidate Pranab Mukherjee prompted the returning officer to defer these 2 cases till today. The objection raised by Team Sangma against Pranab Mukherjee's nomination for the presidential polls has been rejected. The former finance minister's nomination was accepted. Sangma supporters had demanded that Mr. Mukherjee be disqualified from the race and claimed that he held an office of profit as chairman of the Indian Statistical Institute on the day that he filed his nomination papers. UPA's presidential nominee Pranab Mukherjee, who was on a campaigning spree, met UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav today. Mulayam Singh Yadav was also present there. Samajwadi Party surprisingly has supported the candidature of Pranab Mukherjee, putting him in front in the race to the Rasina Hill. The Election Commission had announced that the election to the post of the Vice President will be held on August 7th and the results will be out on the same day. The term of Hamid Ansari expires on August 10th. While the last date for filing the nominations is July 20th, the last date for withdrawal of candidatures is July 23rd after scrutiny the next day. The counting of votes will take place on August 7th. Moving on, the DMK is planning to go on a statewide jail borough campaign tomorrow in a bid to protest against the alleged foisting of cases against its cadres by the ruling AIADMK government. Party chief Karunanidhi alleged that the AIADMK government was waiting to arrest his party cadres during the agitation and said that DMK was not scared of the threat of false cases being foisted on them later. He also advised his cadres not to seek bail if they were arrested while staging the protests. The DMK leader further urged Tamils across the world to extend support to the agitation. Meanwhile, Kanimuri has been allowed to take part in DMK's protest by the CBI court. She had earlier applied for permission to attend the same and the case had come up for hearing today. Judge O.P. Saini looked into the case and granted permission to Kanimuri to come down to Tamil Nadu on the 4th and 5th. He also added that while she is exempted from attending the court's proceedings on the 4th and 5th, her counsel should be present for the same. While DMK Chief Karunanidhi has urged the DMK cadres to go the non-violent way in tomorrow's protests, the police in Chennai are all geared up in case violence breaks out. Our crime correspondent Salim has more on this.
Chennai's Pudal prison can accommodate 3,000 prisoners, remand prisoners, convict and women prisoners. Sources from the prison say that at present there are 2,800 prisoners, but sources from the prison also do say that there are some arrangements going within the Pudal prison to accommodate more prisoners. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, there are 134 prisons in which 22,000 prisoners can be accommodated. At present there are 14,200 prisoners. The prison authorities say that depending on the gravity of the offence committed by the protesters, because basically the protesters do not have permission to conduct a protest tomorrow. So depending on the gravity of the offences, cases will be slapped against them and the police will take a call whether to release them tomorrow evening or whether to take them to Pudal prison or take them to Marriage Hall and lodge them there.
After 58 days, Air India pilots have finally ended their strike soon after the Delhi High Court had asked all of the striking pilots to end their strike within 48 hours. The court had also said that the 434 pilots on strike must submit letters to the management indicating their willingness to get back to work. The Delhi High Court had also asked the management to sympathetically consider reinstating the 101 pilots who had been sacked during the strike for calling in sick or not showing up for work. The national carrier strike has cost the government close to 600 crores.
Due to the kind intervention of the Honorable High Court, Justice Reva Khetrapal, the strike has been unconditionally called off with immediate effect. The pilots, the striking pilots, will report for duty within 48 hours by submitting a joining report, and thereafter flight duties will be assigned to them. The matter with regard to the grievances and demands of the pilots will be taken up by the Chief Labour Commissioner Central as the conciliation officer.
We have to go with a positive step. I am not going to say one way or the other, because our step is going to be positive, because Air India has assured us that they are going to behave positively. They said that the only thing we want is an assurance that you will come back to work, and we've given them that assurance. So I don't see why there should be a non-conciliation or a conflict. I see the way it will go forward is in a very positive spirit.
Moving on, vigilance officials conducted raids at the premises of 4 former officials of Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, former Assembly Secretary M. Selvaraj, then Committee Officer PSK Singaravelu, Section Officer S. Balakrishnan and the then Joint Secretary K. Indra for alleged malpractices during their tenure. The raids were conducted after a case was registered under several IPC sections, including Cheating and the Prevention of Corruption Act.
எவ்வளவு ஜுவல்ஸ் இருக்கு, எவ்வளவு டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தாங்க. நான் வந்து எல்லாம் முறையா வாங்கின டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் முறையா உள்ள ஜுவல்ஸ் தான். அந்த டீடைல்ஸ் எடுத்துட்டு என்கிட்ட ஒரு காப்பி கொடுத்துட்டு போயிடுறாங்க.
In an effort to promote sports in a big way, the Tamil Nadu government today decided to increase the sports quota seats in engineering admission from 100 to 500 from this academic year. Sports persons who have participated and have won in international, national, state and district level sports events would be eligible for admission in these 500 seats as per the government guidelines. Chief Minister Jayalalitha also announced allocating over Rs 15 crore towards various initiatives in the police department, including creating an additional armed reserve police division in Ariyalur district. She allocated Rs 9.32 crore for the construction of barracks at Kamudi in Ramanathapuram district, which will house 500 personnel. She also sanctioned a 64-member division of armed reserve personnel to the existing 3 divisions in Ariyalur, besides sanctioning 26 more personnel to the local headquarters and allocated Rs 2.93 crore for the purpose. The Lankan Navy's arrest of 14 fishermen belonging to Rameshwaram has caused ripples in the fishing sector. 5 fishermen had gone out to the sea on the 30th of June who hadn't returned to the shore owing to minor repair works with the boat. In order to rescue them, 5 other fishermen had ventured out with the permission of the government. While on the way back, the fishermen in 2 boats were arrested by the Lankan fishermen and handed over to the Talamannar police station and later to the court, where the judge ordered all of the fishermen to be held in Anuradhapuram jail till the 11th of this month.
இது வந்து எப்படின்னா முதல்லலாம் வந்து ஒரு போட்டு பழுதாயிருந்தா இலங்கை கடற்படை வந்து அந்த படகை வந்து ரிப்பேரை சரி செய்து அந்த படகை இந்தியாவுக்கு ஓட்டுறதுக்கு உண்டான முயற்சிகளை செய்வாங்க. இப்போ G20 மாநாட்டுக்கு பின்னாடி இது மாதிரி ஒரு சம்பவம் நடந்தது. ரிப்பேராக கிடந்த படகையும் அதை தேடி சென்ற படகையும் வந்து பிடிச்சி போயிருக்கிறது உண்மையிலேயே மனிதாபிமானற்ற செயலாக இருக்குது. வயிற்று பழப்புக்காக அன்றாட கஞ்சிக்காக கடலுக்கு செல்கிற மீனவரை வந்து இப்படிலாம் துன்புறுத்தினா மீனவர்கள் வந்து வாழ்கிறதுக்கு வழி இல்லாமல் இருப்பாங்க. மத்திய அரசிடம் வந்து நாங்கள் எத்தனையோ முறை வந்து இதை எடுத்து கூறியும் வந்து அவங்க மெத்தனை போக்கா இருக்காங்க. உடனடியாக மத்திய அரசு இதில் தலையிட்டு ரிப்பேர் ஆகிற படகுகளையும் அதை தேடி செல்ற படகுகளையும் எந்த படகுகளையும் ஆட்களையும் பிடிக்காத அளவுக்கு உடனடியாக நடவடிக்கை எடுத்து இதை மீட்டு கொடுக்கணும்.
We'll move to a short break now. Stay with us.